Hell yeah, you do.
Not this close. This is just for you guys. We'd have smashed up cars.
Yeah, that's right.
The average trooper to do this.
I don't know, I think you should go get donuts just like this.
This video is brought to you by StarCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world. They are also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage with microgrid solutions. Hell yeah, brother. We are filming a Blazer police pursuit vehicle. Okay, seriously, no secrets. The Tahoe PPV is like one of my dream cars. Those things always just look so good going down the road. And the upgrades that Chevy did to the police package on the new Blazer EV just look sick. This thing makes some serious power, 550 plus horsepower. It's the big SS drivetrain in this thing. Upgraded brakes, upgraded suspension, and like actually they reduced some ESP stuff so you can actually rip on these things. Dude, Jordan, where are we? Somewhere outside of Detroit. Chevy invited us to come look at these vehicles, and we're going to take everyone on a full tour of the PPV package of a fully electric police car, which is awesome and really cool. We've started to see police agencies using Model Ys with huge success. So I think this is really cool that a automaker that already has a lot of fleet accounts set up with local municipalities and highway patrol centers can actually start selling easily EVs to police forces. Like I mentioned, we're going to take everyone on a full tour. I think I'm going to drive it for the first time as well. And then I'm going to try to convince them to let me rip around their little autocross track here, but I think they may force us to ride with one of their like approved drivers to go quickly. But either way, we're going to send it and see how this thing rips.
Let's see if we finish the day with Kyle being arrested.
Yeah, I'm already getting ready. That should be fun. Even rotation, liftoff, oversteer feels really nice. Feels really heavy, of course, when you're in something like this. So a little bit understeery. I'd love to experience what this thing would be like with ESP full off, but we're just kind of sitting right on the limited tire. Jordan, this thing looks incredible.
Best looking GM product we've seen in a while.
I actually think so. It's so sick. So they brought along a few Blazer EV PPVs. And what's really nice is if you want the spiciest, sportiest Blazer on the market, it's this one. They also have one in like a really cool off pink color over there, which actually looks pretty good.
It's like the one we saw in the auto show, that galaxy color.
So that's like, you know, a stealth version right there, which is kind of cool. So you got to be on the lookout for these things now about to pull you over, dude.
Yeah.
And they're going to sneak up stealthy.
And then once these are on the used market,
dude, when these reach fleet sales, yes, we got to get one when they're like trashed and they, you know, have been crashed or whatever. Should be pretty cool. So what does everyone need to know about this? For the first time in a Blazer, you can now get the big battery with all-wheel drive. That sounds crazy, but in the standard consumer one at the moment, if you want an all-wheel drive Blazer, they force you to get the small battery. That's weird, isn't it, Jordan?
yeah. Why?
GM. So now you can get the roughly 105 kilowatt hour battery pack, the Lyric battery in this one. And it gives you the big, you know, SS motor, so dual permanent magnet motors. They've upgraded the cooling package for this as well. So it makes 550 horsepower, 600 and something pound-feet of torque, should rip pretty hard. They're a little cagey about like telling me what they've done to it. We've just spoken with one of the chief engineers. Maybe we can get him on camera and try and get him to open up a little bit. But I'm like, dude, what did you change on this thing? He's like, we've upgraded the suspension. I'm like, okay, what have you upgraded in the suspension? But they've put a increased capacity chiller in here. So they went all the way to the thermal systems, Jordan, so that it has longevity and you can just rip on these things pretty much without any overheating.
They're so proud of it. That's why they're trying to hide things. They don't want the competitors to get a handle.
Well, that's what they told us. They're like, we don't want anyone to know. But I'm like, aren't we all trying to make all cars better? Apparently not.
Especially public safety.
So, you know, you got a 105 kilowatt hour battery pack. The EPA range is somewhere in the high 200 mile range-ish. But these come pretty heavy out of the factory. They're mid 5,000 pounds, Jordan. This thing's like 5,500 pounds without upfitting. So quite heavy.
Without the crash bar thing.
Right, crash bar adds some, of course. We have 11 kilowatt onboard charger. They actually have a manual charge port. Thank God too, because people would, okay, I don't know if anyone's ever seen our Los Angeles auto show tour. It's a really long video, so I doubt it. The automatic charge port door on Blazer EV might be the slowest thing in existence.
Technically, it's still slower than the 0 to 60 though.
Is it really? Yes. So now they've put a manual charge port door on this, so you can.
Wow, that was so fast.
I know. So people's lives can actually be saved. Yeah. Imagine waiting there to open it, like, oh, I got to get somewhere. Let me charge. Bzzz. So they took our advice and ripped that out. 11 kilowatt onboard charger. See, this is a vehicle that I think would make sense to put the 80 amp onboard charger in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of police vehicles, they're fleet vehicles, they have to go out. Having high capacity AC charging would reduce the taxpayer cost to put in a DC charger at a police hub, for example. And so this is the one case where I think having a higher capacity onboard charger would make a lot of sense. DC charging, I think around 195 kilowatt peak charging should be the same charging as Lyric plus or minus, which is okay, but it's not class leading, not incredible. But again, I don't actually think many of these will be DC charged all that often. It sounds like a lot of the use case will be a 1 or 2 shift, maybe an 8 or 16 hour day of use, charge it overnight, something like that, or charge it during the day, depending on its runtime, and then be good to go. I imagine a lot of police forces are going to experiment with these, figure out how they fit into their overall daily working, and then be totally fine. The average, Jordan, the average distance that a police car drives in an 8-hour shift, do you know the number?
I don't.
81 miles.
So this is plenty.
This has 200 and something miles, so it could run 2-3 shifts. GM does recommend an 80% daily charging limit, as they do with all of their vehicles. But I think a lot of police forces may even bump that to 90 or 95. I would really caution a lot of police forces to not just full charge them all the time, because degradation is really minimal on electric cars, but that is a guaranteed way to be hard on the batteries.
Another reason for level 2 charging to really be fine for most of them, I think.
Yeah, I really think if, even 11 kilowatts probably fine for most, but if they could put an 80 amp on here, it would be pretty good. They haven't told us how much it costs, Jordan, but I imagine it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we can find out as soon as some cities start buying them, because they have to disclose what they're spending money on. So we'll know the cost of these things with some upfits, I'm sure, in no time. Let's talk wheels and tires. Steelies.
Looks awesome. This is my favorite Blazer EV wheel.
Love this. Dude, you were so right. When these things hit the used govdeals.com,
Yep,
we got
100%. Yeah.
And it's got the big brakes. So they're brakes very similar to the Tahoe PPV, which are similar to the SS version of this vehicle. And it also has upgraded suspension. It's a passive suspension, no adaptive damper, but I believe it's a McPherson strut up front, multi-link in the rear is my understanding what they were saying.
Make it simple and reliable. That's what the cops need.
And it's got to handle some abuse, and this thing certainly can, but it sits nice. It sits a little bit low. It's really a cool looking vehicle. Let's show everyone inside. So first of all, we have keyless entry here, which is great. Really nice feeling doors and door handles. This is, again, sort of fleet spec, but sort of nice. So we have some contrast stitching here, like this carbon things, a little chrome piece. Like, this is way nicer than you expect. But then it has like the Silverado EV crappy wheel. It's got a regen paddle. This one's at 99% state of charge. 17-inch touchscreen here. This is huge. I wonder if they have like a police particular package on here. It doesn't actually seem like it.
You tap the top to turn it off and on.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh.
It's just really dim.
It's got a safety screen on it, so I can't see it.
No, I can't see it either. It's very dim. But dude, look at this light in here.
Nice.
You gotta hop in. Why don't you jump in the back?
CB radio stuff too?
Hell yes.
That's locked.
Oh, here's unlock.
Cool. We'll have to show the one over there too, because it has a cage, a roll cage,
okay.
and a screen and stuff. This one's like passenger spec. I'm fine back here.
So this is the key. You can remote start it, precondition it. That's awesome. We've got some the wheel-in control here, so we can go with some lights and everything. I don't know. Should we start freaking people out?
Full sirens.
I don't want to. Yeah, so this screen is just unbelievably dim. I don't know why. But they have lane departure, no lane centering, and they have auto hold and the physical park brake, adaptive cruise control, which is great, and then a couple different screens. I think I can turn it on here. Oh, so it even comes with the certified speedometer.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. So they have some police-specific software in here, and they do show state of charge, which is really nice, which I don't think the normal Blazer shows, at least. Maybe it does. I don't know. We should definitely check into that. And I don't know, since they already have some police adaptations, I'm curious if there's any others in here.
At least they have Spotify.
Yeah, at least that's great. They got Spotify. Hell yeah.
Everything else looks the same though.
Everything else looks identical. You can go ESC off though. They told me you couldn't. And what's weird is when you hit ESC off, it came up ESC off, not StabiliTrak off. So it has a completely different stability and traction control system that, at least even if it's full on, learns how you're driving. And if you're really ripping, like you're in a pursuit, it actually starts to pull back some of the limits so you can maintain speed, but not like spin around and slide out. And most police officers are probably trained on driving, although I've seen some very poor driving from police officers and some incredible driving from police officers. So I think they needed to find a nice, healthy balance for that breadth of capability of driving. 3 air vents, not 2.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah. So you can keep the perps cool. We have, you know, anything upfitting wise can be done normally in these vehicles. The seats are really wide actually, and like completely flat on the bottom, which is what you want. You got a belt buckle. I'm trying to use all of my police knowledge at the moment from watching Reno 911. You can new boot goofing in this thing. But how cool is this? Like, it feels like a normal Blazer, to be honest, just like with a crappier steering wheel. It's got the regen paddle, which is great. And the whole, the whole package here.
Well, we got to go look at the one with the crash bar that has a full roll cage in it over there, because that's no rear seat. That's like the Taycan Turbo GT thinking. Just,
okay. Okay, so that's the lightweight enthusiast spec.
Yeah.
Let's go check that one out.
That's the crack car over there.
Okay. So we're hopping out of this. Oh, should we just show trunk space really quick?
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes they do have to carry things, I'm sure.
Is it powered or is that manual too?
It's not opening.
Oh.
So the answer is no. There has to be a way to do it. So here's unlock. The car is still on, which might be why it's not unlocking the trunk. So there's got to be also a way to force it off, which you can hit this power button up here, right, Jordan?
That's to the screen, I thought.
Ah, okay.
There's
So
actually
then you got to go vehicle off here.
On the screen, yeah.
So got it off now. Now it should open the trunk. Key's still inside, just beeped.
Maybe
Nope.
they have it disabled.
Maybe this is a police thing where you can't open the trunk
Wonder
other
if
than...
this one's any different.
Hold on. I'm showing everyone the trunk, Jordan. You can't even do it with the key. What the heck? Okay, so that's front hood. How do you open the trunk on this? We'll make sure we get to show everyone. Okay, that's weird. Let's show the cage. Which one are we going to?
This one right here has a full cage in it.
Okay.
Like actual roll bar underneath the light bar, which is interesting.
So they run Firestone OE tires, by the way,
Okay.
and 38 or 39 PSI. Pretty low PSI.
Yeah.
Probably for the performance. Also probably doesn't help the range that much.
Yeah. But check this out.
All right, hop on in there.
There's like...
Ugh. Okay, now try and get out.
Yeah,
Of course,
genuinely-
he's not able to get out because he's locked in.
Wow, that's rough.
Is it really? But do you actually fit? I want to try it out.
I mean, I
really
do.
quick.
Yeah. See what you
Dude,
think.
you know what's crazy? I've always watched every like police demonstration video on YouTube that like people go and tour, and here we are making one.
This is awesome.
This is my dream.
Yeah, you could finally do it.
Yeah. This is like, they just ran
They
over.
just run over a cone, full police.
It's okay. It's got the upgraded suspension. Don't worry. Dude, it's not bad. What are you talking about? I got plenty of room.
Okay, well, enjoy your road trip.
This is, I mean, a little elbow issue when I got my hands behind my back, but this isn't bad at all.
This is pretty
Dude,
gnarly.
I've been in the back of some cop cars.
Yep. Got a lot of
Not for
stories.
anything crazy.
Got a lot of stories.
No, just at shows and stuff. And I've never had this much room in the back.
Yeah. Well, it's a
This
Blazer.
is like
It's a
if you're
long wheelbase.
shopping for comfort for the criminals, Blazer EV.
Valid.
I wonder if the trunk on this one opens. Negative. There's got to be a way. So
they have a stop stick back there and stuff.
Yeah,
This one
okay.
has an extra screen in the middle, which is cool. The laptop.
oh, the Panasonic laptop. That probably costs
Super
way
cool.
too much money.
Oh yeah. Like
You know,
4
everything
Gs.
here is just how to get as much money from the
I got the
taxpayers.
AK in the back. That's good. Shotgun. Awesome.
But they don't have any real stuff here. It's all
No, these are all
fake.
fake.
Yeah.
It's for effect.
Come on, this is America. What are we doing here? Let's get some real artillery.
I love that the door cuts off the T, so it's just serve and protect.
That's great. Okay. How do we open the trunk on this thing?
So you actually need the key fob
Okay.
because it doesn't allow you to open it without the key fob, so you couldn't walk up to a police car.
Ah, so it's key fob activated.
Like proximity?
Yeah, a bit like the Amazon Rivian thing.
Oh, okay.
This is General Motors Police.
Yeah, not to be confused with anything else.
Right, so they're going after Fords and Stellantis vehicles only. Yeah.
Yeah. This pulling
Corvette,
over,
200 miles an hour. Have a nice day.
Mustang Mach-E though, doing 84 and 80.
Yeah, that's right.
Get 'em.
They're out.
So the 9C1, that is like the police, like code for the police package.
Oh, 9C1?
9C1 is the package.
Z or C?
C.
Oh, C. Oh, nice. C1. I see. Okay, got it. Yeah.
It's not.
And it's also here. So when you see 9C1 on the GovDeals auction,
Right, so if
that's the upgraded
That's
one.
you on a
yeah.
rough Saturday night, and you.
So non-power,
Right, so this is not coming.
sure. So this is just an example of what you can do in the back of your Blazer PPV, which it's a little bit smaller back here than a Tahoe, of course, but I still think plenty fine for most municipal operations. And it does have the power. Oh, this is not a
That's
power
cool.
trunk, but it hits the lights.
That's
yo.
awesome.
They didn't upgrade the graphic here, but that's sick.
That's great.
Hell yeah. Okay. So they took the power trunk out of this thing. All right. So let's go for a ride and a drive, I think, Jordan.
Yep.
It's got the big motors, it's got the big brakes, it's got the big suspension, it's got
buckle up.
different ESP.
I'll buckle up.
I'm putting you in the back.
Pull me over for filming without a permit.
So interestingly, we have a normal drive mode and then our one pedal driving settings, which will probably go to normal for this particular one. And then it'll blend extra regen on the brake pedal. And there's a regen paddle on the steering wheel as well that will give us almost max regen. So very similar to the other GM models. And then there is which we're probably not allowed to do, but I'll show everyone anyway, the drive and park, traction control. There is like a full ESC off mode, and that should, do you know if that goes full off?
I think it just cuts it back a little bit.
Okay,
It says
yeah.
it's not completely off.
Are we allowed to go off?
No.
Okay, so we got to go on.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go on, and yeah, so what are we doing now?
So the first lap, we're just going to take a recon lap and just take it slow.
Yeah, great.
Learn the
the
sea,
course.
the sea of cones out here.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then second lap, you can turn it up a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we'll go into drive. This will also be my first time experiencing this drivetrain on the vehicle. So we'll just go nice and gentle, learn the course, and then send it for the second lap.
Yeah.
And yeah, what's your impression coming from, of course, driving police vehicles for
Yeah,
years?
so I drove them for 25 years, and I just recently drove this car for the first time on a track in Las Vegas, and I was pretty impressed with it.
Okay.
It's not for everybody. It just because of the technology and battery technology and stuff. So I worked for the California Highway Patrol, and we had long shifts, and
Are we going left here?
You can pick your choice.
Okay, interesting.
And yeah, so we had long shifts, and we don't have assigned cars, so
Right.
you come in and 30
Could be a
minutes
little
later,
bit rough.
somebody's taking the car back out. So
Yeah.
but
So those things will have still some time to be looked out.
for a small area or like university or something like that, I think it'd be a great car.
Okay. Yep.
As far as the way they handle and stuff, they're great.
Okay. So you're impressed with the driving, but
Yeah.
the whole relationship, especially for highway patrol.
Batteries.
Yeah, range, charging times, things like that. The infrastructure required.
And this is just a little higher speed
Okay.
slalom.
Yep. So it makes sense. The steering ratio is still pretty slow, typical GM, but it does feel quicker than the standard car. I'm curious if they put the uprated steering rack in this from like ZDX Type S or something like that. Yeah, they'd be curious to ask some of the engineer guys.
Yeah.
So are we doing a timed lap or are we just
Nah,
cruising?
we
Okay.
don't-
Yeah.
We don't time it.
Yeah, okay, bummer. I'd love to do like a journalist timed lap,
Yeah,
see
yeah.
who's pretty quick. Yeah, could be really fun. So, okay, neat. This is, it's a fairly good little autocross course that you have here, actually. And then coming down through here, we'll go down the center of the
Yeah.
cones. You'll have a braking zone. Yeah, I mean, the seats really do nothing to hold you in.
Yeah. And
Is
then
that
right about here, we'll slow down and we'll just creep
Yeah.
our way back up to the start sign.
okay? And then we can go for a hard lap.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then, yeah, this should be pretty dang fun. So we'll come from a start, and the quickest way to launch this thing, what's your impression? Just mount the throttle?
Yeah, and like I said, the brakes are great, so
Okay, awesome.
trust your brakes.
Well, we'll give it a go. You all ready? Jordan, you holding on tight?
I'm holding on to
Okay.
everything.
Full send, here we go. pretty soft launch in this one, actually. So we'll give it a go through and should have some fun here. Well, brakes are right there. Holy smokes. Got to get used to such a sharp pedal. That's pretty wild, actually. So ESP doing its thing. Even rotation, lift off, oversteer feels really nice. Feels really heavy, of course, when you're in something like this. So a little bit understeery. I'd love to experience what this thing would be like with ESP full off, but we're just kind of sitting right on the limited tire. And we're coming in for ending. Well, thank you so much for letting me have a lap in this one. It certainly is, yep, definitely is heavy. Steering's a little bit slow, but honestly, I think compared to, I haven't driven in any, you know, Tahoe PPVs or Explorer police packages or something like that, but I can imagine that just having the instant response, the braking package, like you mentioned, it's like, you know, I was coming on brakes way too hard.
Brakes are incredible, yeah. In the Tahoe, for how big of a car is, they're amazing.
Really, yeah. So they have this simulated, it's a ZF brake controller basically that does a simulated brake and brake by wire, and it just is like, damn, you're in ABS instantly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The overall experience driving it was pretty cool. I'd love to hopefully have another go one day where we can back the systems off.
Yeah,
but means maybe good things for the SS version to come.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Love to see what this thing can do, if you don't mind showing us.
We're about to do that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, this should be great. Yeah, I love the lift-off oversteer on this thing. It really just gets right in. It's awesome. Yeah, buddy. Little understeer through there, but it's heavy. It's 5,500 pounds. Just scrubbing front tire. I love it. Brakes are awesome. So immediate. Hell yeah. Dude, the braking package could use like twice the power.
We're a little heavier
with 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, why don't you jump out?
Yeah.
Actually, your door handles don't work.
Yeah.
But it's like once you get the weight moving in this thing, you can get the weight off the front, get the rear working for you. Otherwise, it's pretty pushy. Which honestly is probably what you want for most police officers in an emergency situation. But throttle doesn't seem to induce any oversteer. I love the digital rear view mirror, Jordan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Doc, thank you, sir. That was amazing.
Cool.
Really appreciate that experience. And yeah, you ripped, dude. Wouldn't want to be running away from you.
They'll only give you so much.
Okay, so they always have a little bit on there.
Yeah. When it actually goes into track detect mode,
Yep, then it opens up.
it opens up the stability control, but reduces the engine out or the motor output.
Okay.
They'll allow it to rotate more, but they won't give you the power to get in too much trouble.
That's a shame.
Did you just see the black one there? Doc?
Yeah.
It's oversteering pretty good.
Yeah. Going wide, hell yeah, brother. Good stuff. Thanks for the ride.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Well, that was a cool experience. My first time in an electric police car. I think we really need to do a Model Y versus Blazer EV police car challenge. The Model Y just inherently is more sporty and would be faster, I think, on a police chase. Having it on the track facility here was great. The braking package is amazing in this car, but the overall balance of the vehicle and like from a performance standpoint, okay, leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's also very safe. And I think that's what's so important from a police officer standpoint is you can be in a hectic situation, things can be going on. The last thing you want to do is worry about the car or the driving. You're just there to do your job. And this is a vehicle that you can drive incredibly quickly, and it's so easy. It always diverts to understeer. It's predictable. It has plenty of power, except the launch is a little bit softer than I was expecting. I was hoping this thing would get off the line a little bit better, and perhaps it's detuned for tire wear or for whatever reason. But once you're moving, get some speed on, yeah, you really start to get that big power out of this thing. So, huge thanks to GM, huge thanks to the drivers, the police officers that took the time out of the day to help us learn what matters in a electric police vehicle, some of the challenges that it's gonna take to make police fleets go electric. I certainly think there's probably a lot of edge cases, a lot of use cases where EVs can work for police fleets today. When you start getting into 24-hour shift run times and highway patrol applications, okay, maybe we still need some combustion for those, but no question, this is gonna be a much quicker, a much easier daily driving experience, a much lower maintenance and a much lower emission vehicle than a Tahoe PPV or Ford Police Interceptor or something like that. So once Mach-E has a police package, Jordan, I think we gotta get Model Y, Blazer, Mach-E, police off.
New compact crossover comparison film.
We could come up with a whole bunch of series of challenges that would be really fun. So let us know if you want to see that in the comments below. We'll do our best to make it happen. We know all the right people. We can find a facility and goof around for a few days and call it work.
We'll have Timon take a Focus RS and we'll go arrest him.
Yeah, that's right. We'll go chase Timon. Well, thank you so much for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. More videos to come from this GM event that we're at in the Detroit area. We have a Silverado EV RST first drive coming very soon. And we also have a Equinox EV full tour and first drive coming very soon. But of course, the Blazer EV PPV, which is badged as the, gosh, what was the option code? 9C1. Hell yeah. Govdeals.com in 5 years. Here I come.